myself or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscientious, so I move with it.
Say in the Quran, in the second surah, if you'd like to open your Qurans, if you have them with you. Are you all right?
Yes, sir.
Not going to be long. In section 23 of your Muhammad Ali translation, chapter 2, verse 183. O you who believe, fasting is prescribed for you, as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may guard against evil. You can't guard against evil, brothers, with a weak will. I mean, that's clear, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Evil makes a pull on you. The only way you can stop doing evil, you have to have a strong enough desire or will to overcome it. And how do you develop the will to overcome evil? By the practice of fasting. Notice it is called a prescription. Chapter 2, verse 183. Chapter 2, verse 183. In the Yusuf Ali translation, the verse may be one verse different, but if you have it, it's either 182 or 184 in the Yusuf Ali. You got it? Okay, let's move on. You know what a prescription is? It's for people who are what?
Sick.
Why are black people sick? It's because their will to resist evil is weak. The Bible says, resist the devil and he will what? How many of us resist it? See, we do that thing in church. We talk that. When the Jews attacked Brother Farrakhan, and they really attacked me.
Yes, sir.
I didn't attack them.
Yes, sir.
They attacked me.
That's right.
So viciously, particularly in Los Angeles.
That's right.
They expected that with the barrage of propaganda that they put down, threatening my life, that I would run and hide. They felt that if they talked about me like they did, I wouldn't even be willing to show my face. Just the opposite took place.
Yes, sir. That's right.
They presented me with a difficulty.
That's right.
A difficulty that I really didn't want. But it's a difficulty that my love for Reverend Jackson got me involved in. And once I got involved, it was too late.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not the kind of brother that back down, even though I may be scared. I call on God to overcome the fear, but I'm going to face this difficulty. Now, once I got in it, and I knew that my position was principled and it was correct, then I cannot back down if I'm right. So now a fight is on. Everybody that weakened and would not face that difficulty in that hour, they lost. And in that hour, I gained because I faced the difficulty. And the difficulty did not extinguish the light of my desire to deliver black people. This is why opposition comes. Opposition comes, it is a gift from God to bring out of you what is in you. Without opposition, you don't know what you are. Have you seen people in the gym shadow boxing? I mean, they look so good. Put somebody in front of them, all that shadow, but you wonder where all that pretty move went. They They lost it all. An opponent knocked them out in the first round. You don't know what you are without opposition. God has always given his prophets opposition to test their faith and to strengthen their will. And when your will is strengthened and your faith in God is strengthened, there is nothing that you cannot do. And
gotta unmute my mic there. Oh, wrong one. My bad. I'm sorry. Peace. What's good?
Hey,
My bad.
wrong button. Don't be trying to delete me.
Wrong button over here. But what's going on, family? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. This is the Black Business Showcase, like we always do at this time. I'm the God Sincere Love, here with my lovely co-host, Nicety Girl in the digital building. What's Gucci?
It's Gucci. You know what? This is my third day of Ramadan. You know what I'm saying? And I'm fighting back the urges to eat like Ali up in here. I'm just fighting it. And I'm getting through it.
Yes, indeed. You got off to a late start, but you here. You doing it. You doing the
I'm
damn
here,
thing. That's what's up.
Hey, Mama Love. What's up, Jackson?
Is day 5, right? This is day 5.
Day 6, because y'all started on the 1st, right?
The evening of the 1st, though.
Okay.
The evening of the 1st. So beginning sundown. What the 1st was? What, Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. So yeah, it's actually the 5th day of fasting for me. I just broke my fast about 10 minutes ago. And so I'm doing well. We doing well. We doing the daggone thing, man. How you feeling so far?
I'm feeling good. You know what? I have my breakfast in the morning. I get my butt up now. I got the alarm set. I'm getting up, having my oatmeal, and I'm drinking water. I do have it infused in with fruit, but I'm just drinking a lot of water. I think that habits, it's not necessarily, you feel a little hungry or whatever, but I think it's just habits. You want to put something in your mouth, not that you need to put something in your mouth.
Yeah, that's the most. Yeah, that's the most part of it. Like the hunger is one thing, but just the fact that you just always used to just snacking on something or drinking on something. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a reflex, and now you got to resist that temptation, which is why I started off with that clip from the minister right there. You know what I'm saying? Talking about using the power of resistance in order to strengthen our will. You know what I'm saying? I might be playing the minister all month just because I need that guidance and that strength to help get through this. But it's been smooth for me after day 2. The first 2 days was kind of rough, of course. You know what I'm saying? The hunger pains was heavy, and I was getting major headaches, you know what I'm saying, by like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I would start developing a headache, and then by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, it was just full blown, and I'm like, oh man. But day 3 was real smooth. Yesterday was cool. Today I got hungry like right at the last minute when we had about an hour left. Right around about 7 o'clock, I started feeling it. I'm like, okay, I need to occupy myself. I was just waiting. I was getting things set up, getting ready for the show and all of that. And I was like, I got to occupy myself. So I cooked, got everything prepared, and I just broke my fast, man. So I'm feeling good.
That little Nikki girl up in here, she is so shady. She is so shady. She know I can't eat yet talking about chicken.
So I kept thinking about chicken today. Shout out to everybody in the chat joining us this evening. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure that y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share this out on your social media platforms. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and click the notification bell so you can be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes. We do the Black Business Showcase usually on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we go live at about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And you can also check us out on our regular show on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, where we cover current events and important topics pertaining to the Black community. So make sure that y'all are tapped in with Sincere Love the Godcast for all of that good stuff. Nikki cracking me up in the chat over here. She making it. They making it seem like I got you on this Ramadan fast with me, but really you the one that got me to do it.
Yeah, I wanted to do it.
Yeah, I just mentioned it like, yo, you know what? I'm kind of thinking about fasting with the brothers this year, and you was like, let's do it together.
Let's do it together.
You know, I was just leaning that way. And then a couple of people in the chat started going, yeah, let's do it together. Let's do it together. And so, you know, that's what made me go ahead and do it. But I'm glad I did. It was a good decision. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to feel the difference already. Just, you know, just the change in my routine altogether. You know what I mean? Getting up extra early, light breakfast. I've been going out on this nature trail that I found close to my house. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty dope. I'm gonna be doing that on a regular basis. I'm gonna keep that going because I really enjoy that time out there. It's real peaceful. You know what I mean? Get a little bit of exercise, clear my mind. It's cool. That's what works for me.
I wake up, I pray, then I come downstairs and make my coffee, make my oatmeal, and then I start work because I'm still on the plantation, y'all. So I start work at 6 a.m. and I do my work, and then I can't eat till after 7. It's only going on 5:30 here right now.
And you notice sunset keep getting later and later, right?
Right.
It keep getting later and later. It started off, it was like 7:52. Today it was 8 o'clock.
Man, yeah, we can't be
8 minutes. 8 minutes made a difference today.
Well, I see some new faces in the chat. Giovanna, we got welcome to the Godcast. Thank you for joining us today. Market Rush Trading, thank you also for joining us today. And Benny D, I hope you're talking about my skin, and if you are, thank you. No filter. Just want y'all to know, no filter. It's me.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate y'all joining. And of course, we got another great episode of the Black Business Showcase coming up. And so, Nicey, you want to tell them who we got today?
We have our beautiful chocolate sister. The name of her business is, wait a minute, y'all know I ain't never prepared. So, you know how we do.
I caught you off guard with that one.
You did. You see how you trying to throw little curveballs at me? That's all right, but I was ready. Yeah. Well, almost. So
shout out to G&G Firearms in the digital building.
What's up, family? See y'all in
I keep seeing my little connection thing keep going off too. So you already know if my things start acting up, I'll be back.
You'll be back. So we're gonna have our sister Winnie from Healthfully Mine on the Godcast tonight. And so what she does is make plant-based ingredients handcrafted by herself, body soaps, shower gels, just all kinds of stuff, y'all, that she's going to be introducing to the podcast. So welcome. Give a round of applause to our guest, Winnie from Healthfully Mine.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Godcast. How you doing?
Hello, everyone.
How you doing tonight? You good?
I'm good. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, like we always do, I don't know if you have seen any of the previous episodes, but I like to go all the way back to the beginning of your journey when you first started, getting into the entrepreneur spirit, whether it was this business or another business or whatever. Just take me back all the way to the beginning that sparked you on your entrepreneurial journey and let us hear that origin story.
Okay, the very, very beginning, if I'm very honest, the beginning started when I went natural. Me and my sister used to attempt making our own products, but the very beginning of the entrepreneur lifestyle started really in 2015. I developed vitiligo on my private part, and through my research, I learned that vitiligo cannot just be attacked just by taking the conventional route. You have to take the holistic route, which is you have to pay attention to what you use on your skin, to what you wash your clothes with, to what you eat. You just have to take the holistic approach. And I decided to take the holistic approach by fasting, by doing cleansing, by just doing random experiments. And one of the main things that I had to attack was my personal care products. So that's really how I started. The idea of becoming a business owner started in 2015. I just remember I went to a local store and bought a bunch of jars, a bunch of essential oils, and just a bunch of stuff to start the business. But I used school as an excuse as to why I couldn't continue it because it was used. I saw it as a distraction for my education, so I just put it to the side until 2019 when I officially launched Healthfully Mine after grad school. So,
After grad school. And what were you studying in school?
so in grad school, I studied medical and molecular immunology.
One
Wow.
more time, one more again
Right. Right.
for the slow people over here.
I studied medical and molecular immunology.
Okay, so you studying molecules that have to do with the immune system.
Correct. It's the study of the our body's own defense system at the molecular level, how it's important for it's is the defense system of the human body. So whatever condition, whether it's immunological base or anything else, the immune system is a system that protects you. So and me going to grad school and studying that particular field was inspired by the fact that I had vitiligo. I really wanted to dig deep into why I had vitiligo. Like I was very curious. So I fasted right before I went to grad school. As I went to grad school in September 2016. I actually reversed my vitiligo in April 2015. So I think this is like the 6 year mark.
Wow.
So my vitiligo was one of the main factors as to why I went to grad school and studied immunology. Because I got the natural part down and I was already studying science. I was a bio major in undergrad, so I just wanted to dig deeper because in my research I learned that science is important, but a lot of you're supposed to be a curious. You're supposed to be curious as a scientist, but a lot of people that are in the science world disregard the natural aspects of things. So I went
Mm.
to grad school just to come, learn, and just dig deeper and get curious, so that maybe one day I can combine the two, and that's actually what I want to continue with in the future when I go back to school for my PhD. So yeah.
Very interesting. Very,
Wow.
very, very
Yes.
interesting.
Very. I
And,
wasn't
and, and, and-
expecting that.
right. And shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. That's
Yes.
a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I see people putting black excellence in the chat and all of that.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
amen. Amen.
And
Amen.
she looks
Amen.
12, by the
So are,
way.
are you a doctor? Does that make you a doctor?
No, I'm not a doctor yet. I just have a master's degree. I took a break just to focus on the business, but
I don't know what that means. It sounds like you're a doctor to me. It sounds like
no,
you're a
not yet.
doctor.
I mean, I do have the knowledge, but I don't have the
But you're
certificate.
not practicing.
You don't got the piece of paper on the wall. Okay,
Yeah,
all right. Well, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. It's
We all
coming
need
though.
right.
it's coming. It's a near
For
future.
sure. For sure. But now, okay, I guess we could talk about this now. I thought we was going to talk about the vitiligo thing a little bit early, but it's a big part of your story. So
Yeah.
I had no idea that it could be treated. I see Jackson in the
Right.
chat saying I didn't know it could be treated holistically, but I didn't know that it could be treated at all.
I didn't
I
know
have a
I
sister. I have a sister who has vitiligo. You know what I'm saying? She was already high yellow to begin with. She very, very light skinned. You know what I'm saying? And but when we was kids, she just had like the light spots on her hands, around her eyes, and just maybe like her elbows, like certain little patches that she had. But now she's like completely white. Her whole body is white. You know what I'm saying? And so I never knew that there was a way that you could treat it at all. So this is my first time even hearing something like that.
Right.
I didn't know it could be treated either. In fact, my older brother also has vitiligo.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't know it could be treated, but I understood one thing my vitiligo came late of 2014, going into early 2015. I was under a lot of stressful situations in school, like I struggle in school, so I'm always stressed, always anxious and always stressed. So I was just the spot appeared one day. I was in the lab doing my independent study in the lab, and I went in the bathroom, TMI, and I felt like an itchy part in my body part. So I'm like, "Ooh, that's weird." So I went in the bathroom, and when I looked down, I saw the white spot, and I ignored it until late 2015. That one spot turned into a bigger spot and it started to spread in January 2015 after I felt extremely sick while taking winter class. And that's when it started really spreading. But the first very spot appeared in December 2014. I ignored it until after I finished school in 2015. But I didn't know it was reversible. But I just, because I'm naturally a curious person, I just knew that, and I've always loved the natural way of things as well as the science. So I've always knew that I wasn't born with it, and I understood that my brother had it or has it. But I know one thing: I wasn't born with it. If it appears on my skin, something must have triggered it. It could have been genetic because my brother has it. I remember when I went to the dermatologist. First, I went to a gynecologist because I thought it was like an infection of some sort, and I was told that this is not a gynecologist problem, this is a dermatologist problem. And I went to the dermatologist, and he told me it's vitiligo. However, there's no cure for it. Just give me a second, I got a FaceTime. He told me there's no cure for it. However, if you're lucky, it will not spread. But if you're not very lucky, it will spread. And after I told them that my brother also has the same thing, they were like, "Yep, it's genetic. So I'm sorry. Um, if you're lucky, it's not going to spread. If you're not lucky, then it's going to spread. There's nothing you could do. You could try some treatment, try some non-steroidal products, which gave me that made me extra itchy, and just a bunch of things. And after I decided, you know what, I'm going to attack this on my own, and just started doing random research, paid a bunch of random people on the internet for protocols, which were extremely expensive. And until I realized that through my research, through reading books and learning about the importance of fasting, of pressing the reset button on your system, and just experimenting on myself, and I reversed it. I didn't know it was
Wow.
reversible at first, but I have to say that it was reversed less than 2 years after I got it, so that could be a big factor too.
That you caught it
But
early.
You caught it
yeah, that I
early.
got it early, so that's another thing too. But I didn't know it was reversible until I just I just wanted to attack it because I just didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that you wake up one day, I had it in my vagina, TMI, my pubic hair was turning white, and next thing you know, next day you wake up, you have spots on your lower abdominal region. Next thing you know, I had spots going down my left inner thigh, and it started fusing, and the spots started getting bigger on my vagina. My clit was turning white, TMI, but like it was unpredictable as to where the next spot would appear. So,
Right.
and that scared me because I used to be extremely introverted, extremely shy. Being in New York City, I hated attention. I didn't like the idea of attention would be drawn to me. And I used to see people in the street with vitiligo, and if you were on the street with vitiligo, automatically people turn their eyes towards you.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to come, and because it was so unpredictable, I didn't want that. So I went even harder. I'm doing research, and I'm just experimenting on myself until it was reversed by doing something so simple. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
What a story. What a story.
What is happening to the body when
So
somebody has
vitiligo
vitiligo?
is when your immune cells are attacking your melanocytes, which are the cells that give you your skin color. So your immune system is seeing those cells as foreign bodies instead of those are good cells. So you have your immune system, you have the innate, and you have two type of immune system. I mean, pretty much two subtypes. So when you have vitiligo, your melanocytes, which are your cells that give you your skin color, are being destroyed by your own immune system. It sees it as a foreign object or just as a foreign thing instead of a natural thing. Like you have cells that get a pass. It's a random thing. If it's a natural cell, a needed cell, it gets a pass and it goes. But if your body starts seeing it as a foreign, thing, then it attacks it and destroys it. So that's what's happening. Your immune system is attacking your own melanocytes, which are your skin cells, and as if they are bad things. You don't need them. So that's what it does when you get exposed to a bacteria or exposed to viruses. It attacks them as foreign, or good or bad. But in this case, your skin cells are being destroyed by your own immune system because now your immune system recognizes your skin cells as foreign instead of as natural.
So it's attacking the melanin.
Yeah, it's pretty much attacking your melanin and destroying them. In the process, you see, spots on your skin, and if it's not addressed, um, and if it's not addressed or paid attention to, it just keeps happening until
You
it
just
gets
left.
to the point where you can turn white. Literally, my vagina was turning white.
Right.
It's, for lack of a better term, it was turning white. You see my skin color.
Right.
Like, yeah, so it was literally turning white, and the pubic hairs, instead of being black, they're turning white. So that's pretty much what's happening.
So can white people get vitiligo?
Yes, any race, and if you look at, I think it's very prevalent in Indians.
Mhm.
It's getting white people too, but because of the contrast, because of their skin color, it's not that vibrant, or there's not much contrast between their skin color and the vitiligo spots. Although if you look closely, like recently, I was at Walmart, I saw this. I think he looks Indian for some reason, but he was a light skinned Indian, and if you can only see he has vitiligo if you get close to him, but from far you don't really get to see it because he's only very light skinned. But for
Mhm.
black people, for dark skinned people, it's like it's such a big difference. So you can really see it on a dark skin color. Excuse me, person versus a white skinned person or a lighter skinned person. So yeah, but everyone can get it.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. I just saw an Indian lady too yesterday who had vitiligo. I mean, I think she was Indian. She looked Indian to me, but yeah, you could
Yeah,
just
it's
see it
affecting
around the nose area.
1 to 2% of the population, and a lot of people are not paying attention to it or not addressing it because they consider it to be like a cosmetic kind of issue. It's not like a major medical issue, but I beg to differ. Honestly,
Some people embrace it. Like you got the model
yeah,
Winnie Harlow. Winnie, actually, her name is Winnie.
yeah,
Yeah, Winnie Harlow. She embraces it as a part of her beauty.
ex- that's true. People embrace it as beauty, and that's cool. However, it's to me, it embrace it if it makes you feel better, if it stops, if it doesn't affect, if it will help to, how can I put it, embrace it if it's affecting your mental health, because that's a major problem of vitiligo. It's not a major medical condition. However, the idea of that, like, you randomly losing your skin color, it can affect you mentally, it can
Mhm.
affect your psyche. So some people might accept it, just go with the flow, but that's not me. I just decided that I wasn't born with it. That's my thing. I wasn't born with it. Something must have triggered it. Therefore, I should try something. I just got curious. Try something, to like pay attention to it and just see if I could have done anything. And I just did some random stuff that worked. I didn't know my 23-day cleanse was going to affect vitiligo at all. I just studied the cleanse because based on the books and the medical research papers I read, just random stuff, one conclusion I came down to was the fact that sometimes what we consume on a regular basis, and that's the air, that's the food, that's the clothes we wear, the couches, the laundry detergents, we're exposed to so many chemicals, and they can allow our immune system to be overreactive and sometimes underreactive. So I've learned that based on all the books that I've read, sometimes you just need to press the reset button and stop
Mhm.
behaving as the modern woman and men. And once you do that, you might be shocked at the results you might get. I'm not saying that what I did was supernatural thing that's just going to erase all diseases. But I did learn that, like, if we stop, the reason why a lot of us have so many conditions, so many problems, and they all related to our lifestyle. If we pause for a second, like the video you played in the beginning, really was one of the, I'm not Muslim, but I did used to listen to him because when I was fasting, I heard you said that you want to listen to those lectures because they inspire you to keep going and to
Right.
do work. So I started listening to lectures from universities, from scientists, from religious leaders, just to inspire me to keep going and just doing random things that just stop living like the random, I mean, not random, like the modern day men and women for a few days that have major impact on your health. And that's what me fasting for 23 days did for me. And it wasn't just Oligo that fast helped me
No.
with. It was my menstrual cycle too, and a bunch
Mm.
of hirsutism and PCOS symptoms, hirsutism, and so on. So yeah, it's just like it's weird, but it was a simple thing.
What
So
kind
have
of
you made
fast did you
fast?
do
I was going to say that. That's what I was asking. No.
for 23 days?
For 23 days, it was a mixture of juice fasting. Well, it's not really considered fasting,
That
but
is.
some people consider it fasting. Or you fasting from food, but you're consuming juice or
Hmm.
smoothies. It was a combination of juice, water, and raw fruits.
Mm.
Like, so the first half of the fasting was um, just blending fruits and veggies. No veggies actually, just fruits and water in the morning. I had a big bowl of salad with avocado for flavor for lunch, and when I was really hungry, I added raw cashews to it. That's lunch. And for dinner, I blended, I think it was cantaloupe and some other fruits in a blender with water, and I added sesame butter for protein. And I did that for 7 days, and after that, I transitioned into a water only. I did that because I knew I was I was alerted of the dangers of fasting. Because if you're eating like the modern day woman and men, you can't just go from eating a cheeseburger tomorrow and go into a water fast the next
Right.
day and then go back to eating a cheeseburger the next day. That's how you hear a lot of negative um reviews about fasting because some people can die in that manner. If you stop eating, your stomach, there's no contraction happening, there's nothing happening, there's no food coming. You're actually hydrolyzing stored fat and what have you. And then the next day after fasting, you go back to a cheeseburger, and next thing you know, you're dead. And now everybody's talking bad about fasting. So I did it in a
Right.
way where I did the juice or the smoothies to prepare my body into like a low food like routine. Like I was eating regularly. Sorry, I was eating regularly, so I took the 7 days to prepare my body for the water fast.
Right.
And after the water fast, I transitioned to eating one food a day to prepare my body again and to going back to eating regular food. That's
I
pretty
ain't
much
ready for
what I did.
I definitely consider that a fast, and that
that. I
sounds
ain't ready
very,
for
very sensible. A sensible way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yeah,
should
that. I
always
don't
be
think I'm
striving to
ready.
deal with balance and kind of, easing our way into certain things rather than just going from one extreme to the next and shocking the body, shocking the immune system, digestive system, all of that stuff. So yeah, I think I'm
So
a
I've never seen a kid with vitiligo though.
a
I've
what?
oh
never
yeah,
I've never seen a child with vitiligo.
yeah.
I've
My
seen
sister had that when we was
I've
kids.
seen children with vitiligo. I've
Yeah.
seen children with vitiligo. Vitiligo, it could attack you in the older age or younger age. There are a lot of conditions that can actually trigger vitiligo, like having hypothyroidism is another thing that can trigger vitiligo. Some people that I've seen in nursing homes and even in hospital with lupus, one of
Mm.
the symptoms that they get is, losing, spots. But I had none of those conditions. Maybe I was hypothyroid. I had hypothyroidism because that could be a problem with it too. But I just randomly had vitiligo. I had no health issues, and out of nowhere, it just appeared. Or it could have a genetic factor where it's in your family somewhere, and by choosing environment, so by being exposed to certain things which could regulate some genes, and those genes can, randomly, next thing you know, you have vitiligo because it does have a genetic factor, it has an environmental factor. And I think that's why when I told the doctor that my brother had it, he immediately told me, yeah, it's genetic, I'm sorry.
This is not it.
Right, because people tend to, even scientists or doctors, tend to blame genes for everything. But genes are affected by the environment. It could be your environment is the type of food you're consuming on a regular basis, the type of chemicals you're inhaling, or just everything we're doing, or we're being exposed to a lot of chemicals just by living our daily lives. So those things in the environment can also impact your genes. So I just refuse not to take it like, oh, it's at the genetic level, therefore there's nothing you can do about it. So I just got curious.
And
That's it.
Right.
that's crazy because every time you go to the doctor, and you have to fill out that little questionnaire, they want to know your family history so they can blame everything that may be wrong on genetics versus,
Yeah,
research maybe.
family history is important because it gives them like how do you say it, like it sort of like give them a blueprint how to best treat you. But I'm not bashing any doctors or anyone in the medical field, but sometimes I don't know, it seems to me a lot of people in the medical field are a bit arrogant to um, the holistic way of, now it's changing because now we have functional doctors. So
Mhm.
it's changing, but a lot of them do not want to accept,
Holistic,
yeah, the holistic
holistic way of
approach.
life.
They actually bash you for even trying
Mhm.
to bring up like,
Right.
hey, is there another route? No, because they want to sell you some medications and
That's what
pharmaceuticals.
they
Exactly. That's
did.
that's what I was going to say. Do you think that's pressure from the pharmaceutical companies and
It
things
is.
like that?
It is in a way, because I remember there was a time I worked in this doctor's office in Currency in Brooklyn, and the pharmaceutical companies would just come to the doctor's office and
Like, get kickback
just
every
give
time
them a bunch of medication samples, and you come. So many black people deal with hypertension and heart
Mhm.
disease, and majority of these doctors, this doctor patients were black, and the people will come in and she will just, hey, take this, come back in three
You never
weeks,
know.
come back in 4 weeks, let me know how it goes, and those are samples from the pharmaceutical companies. So,
Right.
so
And right. They get
they come in.
incentives for that kind of stuff.
Exactly, and
Mhm.
and once they leave those samples, and your doctors give it to you, and the doctors are held in high regards in society. So, if a doctor give it to you, therefore it must be something that will impact your health in in a positive way. And a lot of people don't know that that's not always the case.
And our
I agree with
ancestors
you.
were healing. Our ancestors were healing each other with plants, um, during, a long time ago, right? I don't want to say slavery, but you know what I'm saying? Our ancestors
Exactly.
were healing each other. So, they had natural medicines. They weren't using Western medicines during that time, and they were living longer lives. I think there was less of them that were overweight, and maybe it's because they grew their own food and things like that, and vegetables and stuff when they did eat. That's a part of it. The foods didn't have everything that ours have today. But they were living longer lives than we are today then, and they were under way more stress.
Exactly. I mean, for me, one of the ways I got influenced with the natural way of doing things is I'm Haitian. I was born in Haiti, not in the city, in the
Sac
countryside.
passe.
Not Boule.
She was like,
So I grew up watching my grandma and mom, just my entire family in the countryside, turning into natural remedies instead of going to a doctor. Not because they had the option, but because there was no other way. Like you had to go. You had to travel hours. I'm from the countryside. I'm not ashamed. You had
right.
to travel hours to get to a public road, to hop on a car, to get to a medical doctor. So the best option and the quickest option was natural remedies. So my grandma always, even till this day, my mom always has a remedy for something. So
Right.
that natural, that. that really influenced me into maybe one day I want to combine the two because
Yes,
nature
that's
is
we need more. We need
yeah,
more.
nature
Because
exactly.
most of our
Nature is
medicines
packed
come
with so
from.
many natural medicines, but it's a fight with the conventional way of doing things. So many people are used to it, and they're worth billions to trillions. So it's kind
Right.
of hard to. So yeah.
Yes, indeed. And I also want to add to what my sister was saying a little bit earlier about the ancestors, using food, herbs, and just, natural food, for healing products and all of that. A lot of the medicines that they give you are based on those same herbs and those same foods. They make the synthetic version
With
instead of just
fillers
giving you the
and
natural, the real thing, because a lot of times the real thing is not profitable. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Because
not
it's just
profitable.
there. It's an abundance. You know what I'm
bullshit.
saying?
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's not profitable, but if they give it to you, maybe it will really address your problem. It's not just a natural thing, because some people might use natural medicine as a gateway to get better temporarily too. Some people,
Temporarily.
yeah, like, but if you have a headache, yes, you can make a tea that can address the headache or migraine or what have you, but who's tapping into the root cause of the headache that you're constantly having? They're all natural
Mm-hmm.
remedies that you could use for constipation that can relieve the constipation temporarily. But if you keep being constipated, then are you looking into the root cause as to why you're always constipated? Are you looking into the root cause as to why you have vitiligo, high blood pressure? Are you addressing the lifestyle change? So
Right.
the natural
You want
remedies,
to do it
if,
instantaneous.
if they
If
give
we take
people
a pill,
access, if they
the
prescribe
headache
people
will
natural remedies, then I guess it might open their eyes, and those other, way of doing things
right.
will not still be so profitable today. So that could be a
Now,
thing.
I know you're just using some of these things as examples, but I want to ask because maybe you do have some insight into some of the root causes. Uh, say headaches, like migraine headaches. People that suffer from migraine headaches. Have you had any experience looking into some of the root causes and different ways that people could remedy if they have severe headaches
Um,
or constipation? Either one of those that you touched
one
on.
of one of the reasons that someone might have constant headache might be due to having high blood pressure that's not addressed. If you're on medication, you might get a relief here and there, but with high blood pressure, that can be one of the reasons why somebody is constantly having. So addressing the high blood pressure might be one way to relieve your headache. Or if you
Mm-hmm.
have a rotten tooth in your mouth that needs to be extracted,
Dehydration.
once you extract the tooth, then you suddenly the headache might disappear. You get what I'm saying? So it's all connected. But a lot of people will just take a pain medication to alleviate the headache
Or if you need
temporarily,
glasses,
but
maybe
the
your
rotten
eyes.
tooth is still there. The high blood pressure is still there. So a
Yeah.
lifestyle change will address the high blood pressure, or getting that
Mm-hmm.
that's rotten, there's no turning back for it, will address the problem, and then suddenly your headache disappears and you don't get that constant headache anymore. So that's how I like to look at things. So
Is there like with you for existence? I mean, you for example, when you first discovered the vitiligo, you say you went on a journey to figure out, okay, I'm going to find out why this is happening to me and what I could do about it. How does one even begin a journey like that? Like, where do you even start? What questions are you asking? How do you figure these things out? You just go on Google, like what?
so
And
I'll I'll,
I'm asking this because I want to help my mom too, because
I'll I'll lay it
my
all
mom
out.
has really bad headaches all the time, and
I'll lay it all out for you, exactly everything that I did.
all
So
right,
number
cool.
one, I knew that my brother has vitiligo. So I interviewed my mom. That's the family history part. I
Mm-hmm.
interviewed my mom to find out if they knew anyone in Haiti that was randomly turning white, whether it was on their face or private parts. They told me no. So the next thing that I did after I got that family history down, I guess you can say per se, um, I just randomly started researching why somebody has vitiligo. what can reverse vitiligo, like random Google questions. I started reading book from Ethret. I don't know if I'm not pronouncing it right. It's some old white dude from Germany. One of his books that really inspired me was Radical Fasting. If you type on Amazon radical fasting, it's some white dude that look like I forgot his name, but you will see it. Just type radical fasting. It's a black and white book. I read that as if it was. I might have one of his books here in the office. Just give me a few seconds. Yeah, I have one. This was the very first book of him that I read. For some reason, wherever I move, I always move with it. Um, this was the first one that I read. The Physical, Spiritual, and Mental Diuretics. Um, I went through
That
this
sounds
book
familiar. Why does that sound familiar? What's
because
his name?
you've seen him. I can never pronounce his name. His name is Professor Arnold Edward. He was a German guy. Um, so that I read that book. That was the first one I read, and then I dived into radical fasting, and I started reading medical journals. But before I got to him, I was I was taking the science route. I started reading medical journals online, printing them out, reading them. A lot of them, if you go on the NIH website, there will be a lot of reviewed articles or non-reviewed articles, and they all will suggest a bunch of vitamins. So I did a bunch of vitamins at first. They said B12, being deficient in B12, being deficient in vitamin D, being deficient in some amino acids can be the root cause of vitiligo, can cause vitiligo, and those papers you'll read that when they do clinical trials, I guess you can say, on people and giving them those vitamins, they saw improvements on the vitiligo. However, for me, they didn't do nothing. So that's one route I took. I started reading those medical journals and I applied them, and that didn't help. When that didn't help, I started doing research, and I came across this man, and he introduced me to fasting. And I came across this guy on YouTube. I went on his website. I did a lot of crazy things. I went on his website and ordered his protocol, which was like I think I spent a close to 2K up to 5K. He had me on different diets. One moment I was vegan, the next I was eating raw, the next I was buying $25 a pound for steak, organic steak, grass fed steak, pig's heart, gizzards, drinking raw milk, making kefir. I didn't document none of those things. I do have the information. I didn't document them then because I was not on social media up until 2019. But if I was, but I do have some information. Making raw kefir, buying raw milk, which is illegal in New York. So I used to buy it. I remember meeting guys in the middle of the night on a random white van. Lord, thank you for protecting me because I couldn't gotten kidnapped.
The
Um,
white vans was popping around that time. So the
Right.
white vans.
just too because you had to meet. There's like a group. There's a closed group. It's illegal in New York. You can't find it in stores. But Amish families in upstate New York or Pennsylvania, they do consume raw milk. So if you want raw milk, you have to get with a family that's in Park Slope, that's selling it, knocking on the door. What are you here for? Raw milk.
Wow.
They'll give you raw milk, and I'll just buy the culture, like the grains from Amazon, and make my own kefir. Drinking that, drinking a jar of juice. I did a lot of random things until one day I decided nothing that I did was working. So I just decided to really sit down. I think one of his books, all of his books suggest that the idea of fasting, what it does to your body, it pushes a reset button on your system. It allows once you fast, you're not bringing food, you're resting. Now your body will just attack random disease stuff that's going on, and you will suddenly your body will heal itself. That's pretty much what I've learned what fasting does. when you stop eating, you stop consuming, whether it's TV. I wasn't watching TV. I was spending time in nature. I was just um, listening to lectures to keep me inspired because at times I wanted to cheat. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted, just like you explained earlier, I wanted to cheat. I wanted to eat. I was randomly smelling food that was not in my
Right there.
soul. So I listen to lectures to help me. So one thing I learned is that when you fast, you don't consume food. No new food is coming into your body to get processed. Then your body go into a healing mode, and it's been proven by science. It just hasn't been accepted, you know, totally yet. But when you fast, a lot of unexplained things happen, and I think that's what happened. Suddenly, just by fasting, my body was healing itself, and eventually, my immune system, I guess, stopped attacking my vitiligo, and randomly, the spot just disappeared. The spot just disappeared until grad school. One of the spot came back because I guess I like to call myself disciplined, but when I was in grad school, I got really stressed. I was still vegan, but I was eating processed food. I was a conventional vegan. I was eating
Or
burgers.
like impossible burgers and stuff like that.
I wasn't even eating Impossible Burgers then. I started eating Impossible Burgers in 2020 during the pandemic. But I was eating just vegan sandwiches, store bought stuff instead of me making the food myself.
Got you.
Foods that can induce inflammation in the body, and suddenly a spot came back. But it doesn't spread because every time it comes back, I try the same cleanse, years, and so on. But yeah.
Are you writing a book? I hope you are.
I do have I called it the protocol, and I did add it to my website. I call it the 23-day cleanse, and in there I just added everything I was doing.
You know
But
what?
I haven't really. Maybe in the future I'll actually considering turning it into a book. But right now, no, I'm not writing a book.
You need to. You have to. It's a must. You have to write a book.
In the future, yeah.
You know what? I'm off point today, and I don't even got my ticker scrolling on the bottom.
Oh, and I'm supposed to be your backup to the backup to the backup.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? You just left me hanging over here.
That's
You
because
know what I'm
Winnie and I
saying?
were talking
Blame
backstage.
it on the brain, not the heart.
You
You know what I'm
know,
saying? What's the website? Say the website for me.
Oh, I'll say my skincare line is Healthfully Mine LLC.com.
Let me make sure I spell it right.
It's health, HEALTH, fully
.com.
mine, one word, LLC.com.
Got it. All right. And also, let me see where we at. Boom. Make sure I got that spelled correctly down there. Make sure you guys are following our guest tonight at Healthfully Mine on Instagram, or you could visit the website at healthfullyminellc.com. Let me make a little bit of space. That's a little bit too close together. Let me space that out a little bit. Oh, that should work. Oh. It still look close together. I don't know why. But is that legible for you guys? Can you guys see that ticker scrolling across the bottom?
yes.
It looks clear.
It looks weird?
No, clear.
Oh, it looks clear.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Man, so I still got vitiligo questions, man.
Sure, go ahead and ask.
Is it similar to albinism? And is it the opposite of freckles?
Freckles? I don't really know much about freckles. I just know some people just have freckles, but I don't think it's similar to freckles at all.
Well, freckles are like melanin spots. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
melanin spots, but
And the vitiligo is the lack of melanin in the spots. So I don't know. That was just a thought.
I've
But
never actually considered, thinking about the two of them being similar. It might be. if it's the same thing, but I don't think so. It might be. I haven't looked into it, so I don't know.
Okay.
Albinism, with albinism, it's just you you lack. There's a major reduction in melanin in the skin, in your
Mm-hmm.
eye, your eyelashes, your eyebrows. Everything is white.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, or even in white people, like everything is just no It's not that they don't have melanin, but some they don't have U melanin because there's two type of melanin. They don't have much of U melanin, so it's not the same thing. Vitiligo, however, is something that triggers it to the point where your own immune system is attacking your skin cells as foreign. So yeah, I have to do more research into the comparison of the two, but I don't want to go
Yeah.
into it because I haven't really looked into it. So I,
Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
can't give you anything.
Seems to me like there would be some type of connection there, or something similar taking place in the body. You know what I'm saying? I think most albinos are born albino. I
Yeah,
believe. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? I don't know if you could
it's not
develop
something.
albinism.
If I don't think it's something that they develop later on in life or after birth. It's something that they are born with. Animals are born with it.
Okay,
Uh,
Market Rush Trading says albinism is genetic, vitiligo is autoimmune.
so yeah,
Okay.
that is a major key right there. It's purely genetic, I would assume, where vitiligo is autoimmune. So the vitiligo could be genetic too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of borderline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so there's a
Listening
lot.
to what you're saying.
Yeah, vitiligo could be genetic too. It's just again with your genes. There's a lot of things that can impact your genes that can impact genes regulation. So a lot of things can take place. Do you have a
Now,
few?
I think when they say, something is genetic, somebody has some type of sickness or disease, ailment that they suffer from, and they say it's genetic, that doesn't mean that if somebody in your family got it means you automatically have to have it also. I think it just means you're at a higher risk, or you know what I'm saying, you're more susceptible. So you have to be careful, you know what I'm saying? You following the same diet, same lifestyle patterns as
Well,
your
that,
grandparents.
that's the thing. A lot of people just accept the fact that if it's genetic, then I have
I
no way
have
around.
to.
But
Right.
Mhm.
if you have high blood pressure, therefore some people might consider it being genetic or heart disease, being genetic or breast cancer. BRCA gene is genetic, but if you look at your family, everyone has the same lifestyle. So
Right.
therefore, is it really genetic or is it just that? I saw a funny video recently. Is it genetic or is it just that you all eat the same way? You all consume the same thing. So if you step out of the norm, then you might see something different. So it's not always genes, because everyone loves to blame genes for every problem. But like you said, if something is genetic, like the BRCA gene, it means that you have a higher probability of developing that disease, or you might be more susceptible to that disease. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't consider changing your lifestyle because that
Right.
affects your genes. You might like I was born in Haiti. I didn't have vitiligo. My brother was born in Haiti. He didn't have vitiligo. A few years after moving to the States, he developed vitiligo. That to me is just stating that we change
Something in the
environment.
environment. Yeah.
Right, we change environment, therefore we now are exposed to different things that can express certain genes that would have never been expressed. Let's say if we were to stay in Haiti until this day, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things, not being exposed to a lot of sunlight. That could be a thing because vitamin D deficiency is one of the reasons for according to what's the information that's out there, being deficient in vitamin D, being deficient in B12, or one of the factors that can, make someone have vitiligo. So being coming to a new environment where the foods are deprived of all the essential nutrients in the soil. Now, for example, you have to eat 5 oranges to get the same amount of vitamin C, and one orange that you could have gotten 50 years ago. It's different. Like you have
Hmm.
to eat a higher depth of fruits and vegetables to get the same nutrients you would have gotten from one orange in 1950. So now you're in a new environment where, um, even if you're eating healthy, the foods are less dense in nutrients, or less dense in important minerals, or less dense in amino acids that you need. And on top of that, we're eating a lot of processed food that can literally affect the absorption of a lot of nutrients, affect our immune system, affect our gut, how fast certain nutrients and minerals and amino acids get absorbed into our bodies. So now you're in a new environment. You're not being exposed to enough sunlight. If you're exposed to enough sunlight, you're bundled down on coats. Like you have multiple layers on. You don't spend time in nature. You're constantly absorbing or consuming negative news, affecting your mental health, affecting your emotions. You're not eating healthy. You're not balanced. It's a whole thing. That's why I like to use the holistic approach because it takes a lot, to address certain, some simple things. And I think I'm getting out of. But you
I
know
was
what I'm
gonna have a muffin from my mama. It's genetic. I was gonna have a fupa because my mama got one.
I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
So I blame having a fupa on my mama. Little pudge in my stomach because my mama. I blame it on my mama.
She get it from her
You know,
mama.
I get it from my
I
mama.
mean,
Then I tell
the
people, well, I
body
just had a baby.
the body structure of a woman, especially black women, we're different. We're built different. But
Right.
again, the fupa could be related to having, inflammation in there, which could yield to PCOS, and it's a lot. It's a
Don't
lot.
block.
I just had a baby. I
You
also
have
just had a baby
you just had a baby, so you're fine.
17 years ago. 17
Oh,
years ago.
Listen,
well,
Jack.
if you like the fupa, then keep it. If you don't, then some diet and exercising will help. But if you like the fupa, you're comfortable with it, keep it. I like that term.
Jackson, don't block Gloria, Jackson. Not yet. I
Not
know that's
yet.
a white. I know that's a white man behind that account right there. I know that's a butthurt white man behind that account. But let him rock. Let him rock.
Okay,
He's
Jackson.
Oh, this
enjoying
is
the
gonna
show.
come
No,
back to
no.
you.
Gloria. Talking about the White Business Showcase, episode 38.
That's sad. That's sad. That is sad that someone would take their time to come on here and do that.
You know what I mean?
It's not necessary, honestly.
You know. But
Black business exposure
Winnie,
just
do you have a favorite product of yours? Brother Jackson wants to know. Do you have any of your products a favorite of yours?
I will have to say my rose gold serum and the carrot butter or nutritious
What is
butter.
it?
The rose gold serum,
Rose gold serum.
the rose gold serum and the carrot gold soap or nutritious glow bar, and the nutritious butter, the body butter or the carrot gold butter.
Let me
Those
share
are
that by the way while we're talking about that. Let me share that by the way. And I don't know about that with the freckles. Sis, somebody said freckles are from uneven sun exposure.
that
I
could be
don't,
that. It could be that too. It's possible. I haven't
yeah.
really looked into it, so I'm not going to.
I mean,
comment.
people are born with freckles though.
Yeah, some people are born with freckles, but that could be a factor. There are so many things that can influence a lot of things. So
Yes,
I've
indeed.
never looked into it, so I don't want to say something that might be
Okay, but
wrong.
we got your website up. You guys make sure you visit healthfullyminellc.com where you could get some of our sister's wonderful products. As you can see, she's very knowledgeable when it comes to these things and healing the body and reversing some of these. I don't even know what to call it. I don't want to call it a sickness, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is a thing.
conditions.
One
Okay,
thing
you
I
could.
have to mention though, so recently I was doing a lot of promotion, like posting videos on pages that just promote businesses, and I did got a lot of DMs of people asking me which one of my products on the website. That's for vitiligo. I have to point that out. Every time I get those type of DMs, I always say, "Listen, I don't sell anything for vitiligo. Vitiligo inspired this business because using natural skincare products was one of the factors that I had to lean towards to take the holistic approach. It's not that any of the products on my website will reverse vitiligo, so I just want to put that out there because
And that
I
goes back to at the beginning of the show what the minister was saying when he talked about the difficulty factor. Because a lot of times people just want a quick fix for things. And then when they find out the process that they have to go through to get what they say they want, all of a sudden they don't want it no more. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
Right.
that's the thing. Like I've struggled with that a lot. Like, well, it's not really a struggle, but recently with the Green Chick, which is the website where I shared juice recipe. I mean, the page where I share juice recipes and some of my ebooks. I got a lot of DMs. Recently, I had one guy who reached out to me saying, "How did you reverse your vitiligo?" I've had a few scientists on the Green Chick attack me at one point. I've had
Mm,
people who call me out for making such a bold statement because
mm,
vitiligo is not curable. There's no cure for it. So how can you put a false statement out there saying that you reverse
mm.
vitiligo? There is no way it's reversible. And this one particular guy, I had one guy from Israel who got mad at me, and I noticed why he was. I understood why he was angry, so I didn't approach him at the same tone. Um, he had vitiligo, and his was spreading. And when he came across my page, he was so angry. And I'm like, I understand why you're angry, but you being angry at my statement will not help your vitiligo. So if you want to try what I did, by all means, try it at your own risk, but I'm not here selling any products for vitiligo. Recently, a guy reached out
Right.
to me with reverse vitiligo, and because I shared everything I did, I sent him that same post. And when he read it all throughout, he came back on the Healthfully Mine page. Did you really have vitiligo? And I'm like, dude, yeah, it was diagnosed by a dermatologist. Are you sure you reversed vitiligo? Like, dude, how many times must I answer you? Yes. But some people don't understand that. Yes, I did reverse my vitiligo, but I did not let my vitiligo spread for 5 years and beyond. That could be a major
Mm-hmm.
factor too, because I learned that waiting is a sick man's game.
Right.
Right.
I'm saying waiting is a sick man's game. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but you get the concept. If you just keep waiting and not addressing it, then the more it lingers, the harder it will be to reverse it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's all areas in life, by the way.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I just want to say, protect Winnie at all costs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you know
Look at she's like.
you gotta be careful with certain words that you use. I know you said certain scientists were
Yeah.
attacking you and things like that. I don't know if it's true, but I know when people were talking about stuff that Dr. Sabi was going through and all of that, people were saying that they have a patent on certain words like cure, and then you can't
And that is
use.
why I don't use
Mm-hmm.
cure. I use
Okay,
when people reach out to me in my bio I put reverse vitiligo. When they go down in my DM, I say I reversed my vitiligo. I have not put what I've
Right.
done to a clinical trial. Therefore, I didn't have enough people to repeat the same thing that I did to claim that this is a protocol anyone will try. This is
right.
my way. This is what I did to my body, and this is the response I get. If putting it out there would inspire other people to try it, it might work for them, it might not work for them, by all means. But I'm not saying that what I did will cure vitiligo because I reversed
Right.
it. And guess what? When I went back, even if I was vegan, I went back to eating a lot of shitty vegan foods. And guess what happened? A
It could
Mm-hmm.
come
small.
back.
So I don't say I cure vitiligo. I said I reversed my vitiligo. I put the information out there because when I put it in the ebook, random people will get in my DM, oh, you reverse vitiligo, how did you do it? Well, I got an ebook. Oh, everybody's selling something. A
Mm-hmm.
scientist come out to me, oh, how can you say that? You can't cure vitiligo. There's no cure for it. I'm like, did you read? I did not say I cured
For
vitiligo.
sure.
I wasn't trying to be smart. I didn't say I cured it. I said
Yes, you
I
were. I just,
my vitiligo. So I'm like, dude, I get it, you're angry. And another dude from Israel, like, it's the same thing. At one point, I actually removed anything that had to do with vitiligo and the green chick bio until I was on Clubhouse talking to people. in the beginning of last year, and I was inspired by mid last year to put it back in my bio. But a lot of people out there are angry, and I get it. But it doesn't help your vitiligo by attacking somebody online that did something that's not selling a pill. Like I had a doctor who got into a room after I introduced myself, and he read my bio. He got my he GM me, and we got on a phone call. He said, "Let's collaborate. Let's create a drug."
Oh,
What?
He has a nurse that has vitiligo. Let's collaborate. Let's create a medication. And I'm like, I repeated to him multiple times. If I wanted to make money off of it, I could have lied and said, "Hey, just turn my spirulina," because that's one of the things that I did in the cleanse. That's why I sell spirulina. That's why I sell chlorophyll. But I don't claim that they will reverse vitiligo. I just sell them because I understand that they do impact your health in a positive way. And he was like, "Let's do a drug. Let's do a pill and sell it. Let's make tons of money." I'm like, dude, I did not take a pill to reverse vitiligo, so I cannot go out there and tell people and sell them some, what's the word? Some
snake
placebo.
oil. Snake
Yeah,
oil.
exactly, some placebo pill, like a snake oil. It's not worth it. So yeah, like, but the crazy thing is, a lot of people that I notice will be more than willing to buy a pill
To do that. Mm-hmm.
instead of
Yep.
doing something
Instead of
that
just
they don't
getting
even
the ebook.
exact, or not just the ebook, because I like what I have in my ebook is just extra information and going to much more details. But the blueprint of what I did, it's being shared all over, you know. So some people are more willing to buy something that I make than to just repeat a simple cleanse. So I've had people ask me, "What is your chlorophyll going to reverse it?" No. Is the spirulina and chlorella going to
Yeah.
reverse it? No. They're willing to pay money for the solution, but it doesn't require all that nonsense. So yeah.
Yeah. This model on your website is dope, by the way. That's not a stock model, is it?
No, it's not. It's a
Yeah.
girl that I met. She models on my products,
Yeah.
and she's dope.
Someone asked, "What is there for men? What products do you have for men?"
I have a men wash. I have it.
Okay. I seen this. I seen some. I see. I went the other way when we got down here. I was like, okay, man.
Yeah, I have a
There it
masculine.
is.
I have the beard oil for men, and I have a Haitian male enhancement product for men. Haitian male enhancement butter or ointment on the website. That has been doing pretty well. So those are the products I have for men. In terms of skincare, the body oils, that's the male enhancement product right there. Um, yeah, but all the skincare products that I have, I see a lot of male buying the Care Glow soap, the pineapple soap. So all the products are pretty much for men, for everyone really.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking like I use all this stuff. I don't feel no
Yeah,
type of
Right, right.
way.
That's unisex. That's unisex.
makes it
Right.
better. That's one thing I'm
Ricardo
gonna work
asks, "Do
on.
you have what about eczema?"
Eczema really is just any products I have on the website can address eczema because the ingredients I use are packed with anti-inflammatory properties. But again, I don't tend to say, "Oh, my products will reverse your eczema." But really, I use shea butter, I use jojoba oil. All these products will actually add moisture to your skin,
Mm-hmm.
but also your diet, and eating fresh fruits and vegetables on a
Diet.
daily. Consuming a diet that's packed with a lot of anti-inflammatory properties on a daily will definitely address your um. Tell us about this cacao. Will definitely address, eczema and beyond. So
Yeah.
the
Some of your
body
clients
butter,
want you to talk about the grass cocoa.
Cacao.
yeah. So it's a
Yeah.
Haitian male enhancement product.
Oh, talk
Um,
about it. Talk
appar-
about it. Some tiger bone or something.
apparently in Haiti, this is the go-to products that men use when they are, well, let me be serious. I tend to be
How you say it? How you say it first? How you say it? How you
it's
pronounce
called
it?
it's called grass cacao, like cocoa, the
Grass
real
cacao.
cocoa. Yeah, cacao. So it's grease. Well, if you translate it, is cocoa grease. So apparently, when men use it in Haiti, it address problems or medical issues that we can call here ED, which is erectile dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of men use it to
Hold on. Let
help
me go
that.
back to the website. I didn't even see it. Let me go back to the website. Is it something that's ingested or is it applied?
No, it's literally an ointment, like it's like a butter that you can just put in your hand, in your palm. It melts
Just rub it on
instantly,
there.
and you rub it up there, and
What y'all brothers got going on, man? What y'all brothers got going on?
it's a go-to product that the men rave about because it helps them. And
Hold
apparently,
on, hold on. Where is
I
this?
I introduced it to the website recently, and I had a dude who ordered it a while ago, and he came back saying that he used it for 2 weeks. He's already seeing results. So it's supposed to help with growth,
Oh.
girth, and thickness, and just so much. That's all.
So y'all stop going to the liquor store and buying that horny goat and just get some of this grass cacao.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you talk to me, I tell them, if you want to address ED, then use grass cacao. It will help you, but it's also temporary, because if you
Wait.
keep drinking on that hard liquor and eating fried chicken all the time, of course it's gonna affect your circulation and high blood pressure. Because one thing I've learned recently just by doing research, if a man is start having ED problem, eventually he's gonna have a heart attack, because what it means is your blood is clogged. The blood is not being circulated properly, so it doesn't get to go everywhere it needs to go, which affects your manhood. So when people reach out to me asking for Crisco, I'm like, by all means, use it. I sell it. It's great. This is it right there.
There you go, brothers.
Great. But if you want to address the problem holistically, start eating a lot of foods that helps with circulation problem and use the Crisco, and you'll see amazing results. But temporarily, not chicken or liquor.
Yeah, it's gonna clog you up though. It's gonna clog you up.
I'm selling the products, but at the same time, I'm not going to be biased. Like, it's going to help you, but you're gonna have to use it 365 days a year. But if you stop, then what happens? You get to see the result in a long, like maybe a few weeks after. You have to keep using the product to keep seeing the results. But
it's better than the blue pill.
Yeah.
Better than the blue pill.
Giovanna is raving about it, by the way. Giovanna is raving.
Market Rush. He's all about it. Giovanna, Darius.
For some reason,
Zoes in the building tonight.
For some reason, it works. A lot of men use it in Haiti, even here. Like, it works. That's all I know.
No.
Look, his favorite product on the site.
I hope you. Hey, listen. I hope you stocked up.
I hope so too.
I hope you stocked up, because them orders about to be coming through.
Oh, me? Yes, I'm stocked. I recently made a batch, and my mom recently came from Haiti, and she bought me some. So I'm ready for the order.
Are there any more products that guys would like me to focus on before I close the website back out?
The one right next. The one
products of interest.
The one right next to it. The one, the leaves. The one on the lower right. Yeah, you click on it right now. That one. It's the butter with an oil. Pretty much the same thing, except there's the butter and I have the oil. So yeah.
Okay. Hey, get your money.
Market Rush Trader said that thing works magic. I'm full blown proof. LOL.
But yeah, they work. They work. They're natural products, but one thing is, I know I sell the products. I'm not going to be biased. If you want to see real long-term results,
You got
combine the
it's
products
testimonies
with
here.
a
Okay,
lifestyle change. So,
sister want me to go back to the strawberry soap.
There's
I think
oh,
that was
testimonies here in the
closer to the
chat, so
top.
it works.
All right, fellas, that's enough. Y'all niggas calm down. Strawberry soap. All right, here we go. Strawberry soap. Now, what's the ingredients in your strawberry soap?
the strawberry soap. The main ingredient in that one is strawberries, fresh strawberries. I recently went to a strawberry festival in Florida, and I was. It's a recent product that I released, and it's been receiving. People are receiving it very well. Apparently, I don't know if it's the color because it's pretty,
It
but
looks like it tastes good.
I had
Right.
a few comments, like people asking me, "Is this a treat or a bar soap?" So
Right.
bar. But yeah, the main ingredients are strawberries, shea butter, sodium hydroxide, because that's how you make soap. Um, and what else? Olive oil and coconut oil and essential oils. That's it. The main ingredients is strawberries, so that's why I call it strawberry soap. Yeah,
Yes,
And I bet
indeed.
it smells so good, huh?
it does. I've been showering in it. Showering.
She tried it and it helped with acne. She has really sensitive skin and it didn't cause any irritation. Now, how about in your feminine parts? You know what I'm saying? Because I know sisters, a lot of sisters, they can't
Yeah.
be just using anything in
So
certain areas.
I do have a feminine wash. Uh, for the feminine parts, I have a feminine wash. I have a yoni oil, and I have yoni tea. It's called detox. And what else I have? I think that's pretty much it. Yoni steam, a feminine wash, a spray, and an oil.
Okay.
Is it the fresh? The fresh?
Yes, fresh. I think it's on the front page.
So this the body oil, complexion bar. Oh, this was right here at the top too. Okay. Hair growth. Hair growth. Okay.
So the
Yes.
fresh, is that like an oil that you rub on the body parts? It's
It's an
just
oil.
topical.
Yes, it's topical. You can just pump it, and after showering, or you could use it when you're doing
So it's
other things.
like a natural summer's eve type of deal.
Yeah, it's a natural moisturizer for the vajayjay.
You just told your age right now, Sincere, talking about some summer's eve.
Nigga, I'm old. Everybody know I'm old.
The old nigga in the room, man.
Word up. So other than your website, do you have your products in any maybe local businesses where you live at or anything like that?
I do have an office. I'm actually in my office right now,
Okay.
but um, my store is exclusively online. This is where I come to process orders and store my products because some of the products I made them in my apartment, like the soap, and I come here and store them, and some of them are made here, but it's not like a storefront that's open to the public. It's just an office when I have to come here to process orders and just sit
Stock
here.
room and
Yeah.
business and all that. So like no like barbershop salons or anything like that carry any of the products? Like
No,
yeah, that's something that you're looking to explore maybe?
in the near future, yes, I want to do that, but for some reason, it's kind of hard.
Are you
Yeah.
still are you still an introvert?
Yeah.
I know you mentioned that earlier.
I've done a lot of evolving because it was bad, but I've evolved a lot. I'm still an introvert because every once in a while, my introverted ways overpowers, things. Even social media, sometimes I'm active, I'm dancing, I'm doing weird stuff, and I'll go through a period where I don't want to show my face. I'm tired of showing my face.
Right.
But it's something I've noticed that like you must change to be successful in business. It's not you can't stay the same way if you want to see.
Show the money maker, honey. Show the money maker.
Exactly.
Show the money maker.
Exactly. So I'm working on that. I'm still an introvert, but sometimes I'm extrovert. A piece of me.
Right.
We all have a little bit of extrovert
Yeah.
in us and introvertedness. So sometimes it comes out. I've learned that it does help my business because when I show myself out there, it shows my weird, awkward ways. People see through it all on social media. And then they DM me and they strike a conversation. Next thing you know, they're spending $200, $100, or $50 in my store. So it's not just for the money, but I noticed that, the human connection matters in business.
Definitely.
So I have to, sometimes I just have to force myself to get out of it. But sometimes the old ways,
And we talk about that all the time on the show too, how, really the product is you. You know what I'm saying? That's what people buy into most of the time. Your story, whatever connection they may feel with you or something that they can relate to about you. Because, there's other people doing oils and soaps and things like that. But people make a connection with you. They want to buy it from you. When they think of these products, they think of you. You know what I'm saying? Because of your interaction, whether it's in person or whether it's on social media, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely got to put yourself out there. But you're already doing a lot of the right things, ebooks, documenting your process. I heard you mention that earlier as well. Like, that's all great stuff.
Yes, I've learned that. Like, one of the ways that I had to force myself to put my face out there was when I learned that a lot of people are not buying your product. They're really, well, not buying, but they're really connected with the person behind the business. Because a lot of people are making carrot soap, but do you have for aftershave? I don't have anything for aftershave necessary. I'm sorry, but
No,
I just didn't answer that. I don't have anything specifically for aftershave, but I do have the toner that I love to use after waxing, and after shaving, because it soothes the skin, which will help reduce the itchiness. Some people might experience after shaving. So
she's answering you now, Ricardo. She's answering you now. She doesn't have products for razor bumps and aftershave and stuff like that.
but I do for ingrown hairs, I have renewal. It's a product because I do struggle with hirsutism. So to fight the infection that can occur with hirsutism, I created renewal that you could just roll on the bumps and reduce the likelihood of the bumps turning into dark spots and so on. So I do have that. Just give me a few seconds. I need to grab for some napkins.
Yeah. Hey, guys, make sure that you hit the like button. Share this out on your social medias, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, just like our moderator Jackson Harlem said with the white thumbs up. Let me get some white thumbs up on the Black Business Showcase. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't have it here, but I do have a roll-on product for
razor bumps.
Yeah, for razor bumps, because yeah, you could call it razor bumps.
For ingrown hair. That's what razor bumps is for the most part. Ingrown hair.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yep. Ricardo, check out the website. My guy say you're trying to keep that baby face. Too late for me.
No, it's never too late.
You can reverse old nigga. You can reverse old nigga. Let's talk about that.
This is how you stop aging. I mean, I'm not saying it's a set in stone. Fasting helps with that too.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Fasting helps with that too. Just eating a diet rich in fresh fruits and vegetables will definitely reduce the major effect people have with aging. It's inflammation, really. The wrinkles. That you're gonna age regardless because we all have to die.
Right. I never trip on it for real. Like the melanin,
protect the melanin, and
I was gonna say
In
I'm
fact,
just,
I bet
I'm
you
one of
will
those
look 10 years
dudes. When I was 17, I looked 30, so I already knew it was coming. I don't trip. I don't trip. I don't trip. I'm serious. When I was 17, I
You
looked
got
just
hair
like
on your
this.
face. You got hair on your face early.
Oh yeah. I had a whole beard in middle school.
My
But
son is stressing out
age is a
because
number.
he just
You
got 2 little
Yeah,
hairs on each
I
side.
don't trip on it. I don't
Yeah.
trip on it at all.
But
All the
fasting will
men in my
definitely
family have
help.
beards.
Yeah, I'm a stick to it more often. You know what I'm saying? This is my first time fat. No, it's not. Actually, it hasn't been that long. I fasted last summer. I did like a 3-day water fast last summer,
You
but
know what
I'm
I
gonna be
like to
doing it
do?
more frequently.
You know what I like to do? Every season change, I fast.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least I call it I think it
And do
has a
you adjust your diet after? You adjust like eat a different diet for that season?
not really. I'm still a vegan.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But every season change, I fast for at least 3 days. I call it the 72 reset cleanse. With
Now,
every
are you?
season,
Can you tell us how old you are?
I'm 32.
Well,
You
12.
32?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Wow.
yeah. I'm taking your advice then. I'm taking
Yes.
your advice.
But 32
Yeah.
is not supposed to look that old. I don't know why people bug about 30. It's
But
fun up
you
here because I was too shy, too introverted, too afraid when I was in my 20s. So far, it's cool up here.
It's cool up here. I like that. I like
I'm
that.
getting out of my shell. I'm talking. Just a people person, not 100%, but but,
not 100%.
but in my 20s, I was too introverted. So, and with fasting, with melanin, I got a lot of years ahead of me before I start aging.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yeah,
indeed. And that's genetics as well, family. That's genetics as well. You want to charge something to the genes, charge that to the genes.
yeah. Just give me a few seconds. My nose is running.
We're gonna get ready to wind down now.
But yeah,
This has been a great conversation. As you
I
guys
love.
know, we do this every Wednesday and Thursday on the Black Business Showcase. So you guys are tuning in with us, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And we chop it up just like this, man, each and every week,
Okay.
man. You can check us out on Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, where we get into some of the hot topics that's going on in Black society. And we definitely got a lot to talk about this week. So make sure you guys tune in this Sunday. Got a lot of stuff going on. All the compliments in the chat. Appreciate y'all showing love to the guests. Appreciate all the new guests.
Yeah, Mr. D.
All of the Winnie fans and clients that joined us tonight. We appreciate
Yes.
you being here with us, engaging with us, making the conversation fun. So yeah, that 30 hit different.
It does, but it's not in a bad way for me. I hear a lot of people complain about start having knee problems. I'm like, it's not the 30s that's causing the knee problem. It's
Right.
the inflammation, but okay. So, it's not the age, because honestly, it's not just what I've done. I remember in grad school, I used to spend like 10 to 12 hours dissecting in a lab with a guy that was 87, not 87, 78 years old. We would stand on our 2 feet for 10 to 12 hours dissecting. And this guy could talk about anything you could possibly think of. One thing I learned from him, that's one of the reasons I don't think I can ever go back to eating meat. He turned vegan when he was 25. Most people in his age cannot stand for that long. Like, he's vibrant. He was a professor still at this age, vibrant on his 2 feet, healthy as Lord knows healthy as a 20-year-old. And it's not the number. It's not because there's something called biological aging and chronological aging. There are people who are 20s or if you get some scales that allow you to see it, you could be 20, but your body is as old as a 37-year-old person. You're not active. You're not eating properly. So it's not really the age in terms of how long, how long ago we were born. It's really your health that's aging you. It's not the numbers on your birth certificate that's aging you. So a lot of
Me,
people
me
obsessed
too,
with the age.
Giovanna. I agree, Giovanna. Very
We
dope.
were talking about this before the show. Told you.
Very dope. Very dope.
That's what
Told
I
you.
But yeah, it's not
That's a
the
lot of
age.
hair.
It's not the age. It's not the number on your certificate that's aging you. It's a lifestyle. Because ever since I met that professor, like I really changed my perspective on aging. Because some people, yes, society is obsessed with age. That's true, but really, it's our bodies that's aging due to our lifestyle. It's not that just because you're 50, your body's supposed to start degenerating after a certain age. It's the lifestyle
Right.
that's aging you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
For sure. So I
that's why
know I
just
know I'm getting it
earlier,
together.
huh?
Say it again.
No, earlier I think somebody mentioned my older brother was like a few years away from being 40, and then I mentioned, listen, it's just how you look at it. It's not that he's going old because you have people who are 40 who are healthier than a 20-year-old person.
Hmm.
But because you're 20, you think you have time on your hand, you have youth on at your advantage. Therefore, you're gonna continue eating sugar, honey, iced tea stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But some people start addressing, their lifestyle by 50 and 60. But your 20s, your 30s, how you take care of yourself now will affect you in the future. So yeah, that's what I like to tell people. But some of them are not interested. So just whatever.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Um, by the way, market rush trading, hit me up, man. We might need to get you on to talk about some trading stuff, man. We had a couple of people on that deal with
Yeah.
crypto and stuff like that, but we would love to get into some information about the stock market on the show as well. So make sure that you following me and my co-host, man. Hit us up, man. Talk about getting you on to talk about some of that information as well. What's coming up, Winnie? What's next for Healthfully Mine? Any new products on the horizon? Any events, maybe pop-ups, anything you got going on?
I have a detox bar that's coming up soon.
A
And
detox bar?
yes, it's a bar soap. I just made it. I haven't released it on the website yet, but it's made with well, this one is for my sister. I made it for her and her family. It has charcoal, tea tree, rose water, and peppermint. I also have a green juice soap. Like the same ingredients I use to make green juice to drink, I turn it into a soap. So eventually, by in 2 weeks or next week, up to 2 weeks, I will release them on the website. But for now, they're just products that I'm using and making for my sister and her family. So I do have two bars that are coming up. That will be coming up soon. In terms of everything else, um, I'm just learning new ways to expand my business because I started from scratch with nothing. And earlier, I mean, late last year up until this year, I've been learning a lot about business funding. Like, you don't have to be using cash to run your business. There are ways to approach business a different way to find funding to grow your business and finding investors. So I've been educating myself a lot on those things, and that's what I'm working on right now. Just constantly researching and um, just broadening my knowledge on business so that I can scale in the near future. So that's pretty much it. And at the same time, formulating products and somehow stopping myself from making too many products. Because when I find an ingredient, I get too excited. Next thing you know, I I turn it into a product. So yeah, just learning how to do business a different way when than just how I started. So just I guess doing business by the book in a way, because I started with nothing. I didn't know anything. I never took a business course. Maybe I did in high school, but I don't remember nothing. So I just started my business out of just for the passion of selling natural skincare products. But lately, I've learned that finding funding for your business is important. You don't have to be running
Mhm.
cash to run your business, there's a smart way to run your business so that the business lasts long. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like we
Mhm.
were talking in the beginning, like black businesses struggle a lot because it's not about the problem is it's not a shortage of black businesses, a shortage of having
Support.
a business go beyond three,
Mhm.
5, 10 years. And that's the problem. Like somebody mentioned earlier, white businesses. I'm not saying white businesses don't struggle, but black businesses face another, a
Mhm.
major problem.
Absolutely.
It's like a lot of us are starting businesses, but a lot of us don't get to run a business that lasts generations because we face a lot
Right.
of financial hardship. A lot of
Yes,
us don't have
absolutely.
families that are successful in business. So it's kind of hard, just running a business, being black, not being able to get funding. And it's not that the
All right.
funding is not there, it's the fact that we don't know. Like when I open my
Absolutely.
eyes to the idea of funding, it's like, whoa, like there's a lot of information out there. I've been telling myself I just have to sit my, ASS down and just
Right.
absorb the information and apply it, and you'll see your business and use the information and apply it to scale your business. So that's what I'm working on right now. So
Absolutely, absolutely, man.
But we
And
also have
somebody,
to support it. She can get funding. If she got funding tomorrow and got it in
we gonna support.
all national stores, it's still up to us, the black community, to support our black businesses
And
because
we
we
gonna
are
and
the
we
ones
gonna
that
do that.
represent. We,
We gonna do that right
exactly,
off top.
we have to make
exactly.
sure
It's not
that
just
we
She
it's
got
just
dope shit. She got dope shit. We
right,
gonna buy it. She got dope shit. You know what I mean? She's a dope individual. So
right,
you know what I mean? It's just a matter of us knowing about it. So again, it's like
yep,
you said, man, the struggles that black businesses face are unique from other groups. You know what I'm saying? Just based on, lack of access to capital, you know what I mean? The generational everything, trauma
now
and
the
lack of
dollar
information. Yeah.
exactly, and how the
Yeah.
dollar in the black community don't circulate.
Because of
It's
all of that, there's no
exactly
infrastructure for it. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, somebody mentioned earlier we got to get her on Shark Tank so we can get her in all the stores, and
right,
I agree with that. But we also gotta become the sharks, and we gotta have
right,
our own stores. You know what I'm saying? Major department stores and all of that, so we can support each other, and we don't have to depend on them to handpick who they want to get out of the community to elevate to
exactly.
the next level. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about nation building a lot on here. So all of this stuff is relevant to the conversation. Very important, man. So appreciate you being here with us tonight and dropping all the
Right.
good information. You know what I'm
thank you
saying?
for
This was
having me.
definitely a dope one. And so we got three more questions for you before we let you get out of here.
Sure.
All
Feel
right.
free now. So, what does freedom mean to you, Whitney?
Ah, freedom to me means that um, I get to live my life the way I see fit. It's not that I don't get to respond to anyone, but I get to experience life or go through this experience called life in the most comfortable way possible without struggling. Like, struggle is inevitable, like, you can't avoid it, but if I get to be free in who I am, express myself without harming anyone else, then that is freedom to me. So I guess I don't know. That's all.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And now, what does it mean to be empowered? What does power mean to you? I know some people say it's kind of similar, but to me, it's a little bit different. So, how about to you in your book? Power.
To be power.
Yeah, what does power
So
mean, or to be empowered?
so over the last few years, I've had a different definition for power. I understand that those who have power in society today are those that have access to what moves the world, which is money. And so I believe power is something why a lot of us black people in society today are struggling because we don't have a piece of power. It doesn't mean that money equates power, but for some reason, if you got money, then you get to move things freely than if
Mhm.
you don't have any money. Not that compassion doesn't matter, it does. Or love doesn't matter, it does. But power means to be able to do things your way without being influenced by someone else or other groups' bad ways of doing it. I don't know if that makes
It
sense.
makes perfect sense, and I actually love the answer. I actually love the answer. That's a great answer. You know what I'm saying? I think I'll share mine on Sunday. I'll wait till Sunday for that. I haven't actually given my definition for power on the air yet, but I'll do that on the Sunday show, man. You guys make sure that you tune in and remind me so I don't forget too. You know what I'm saying? At the
How,
end of at the end of the
what
show,
time?
we go live at 7 p.m. on Sundays, Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
And don't be
All
trying to
right.
put me on the spot either. Because I know I'm gonna write it down just in case, because I already know you're gonna try to put me on the spot.
Your ass on the spot right now. So now what? Your ass on the spot right now.
Y'all see this shit? You see what he does to me?
Nah, but actually, Winnie, it's your time to go on the Summer Jam screen, and
Uh-oh.
so now you have the microphone, sister, and the entire Black community is listening to what it is that you have to say. What parting words would you like to leave us with tonight?
Repeat that again.
What parting words? First I said you have the microphone. The entire Black community can hear what it is that you have to say. So, what parting words would you like to leave us with tonight?
Hmm. So it has to be related to health. Um, One thing I would say if the entire Black community was listening to me right now is, listen, a lot of the issues that we deal with in the Black community, the major diseases that are killing us are lifestyle related. So that's that. They are lifestyle related. High blood pressure, heart disease, hypertension. Well, same thing as high blood pressure. Let's change our diet. Let's focus on accumulating wealth for the generations that are to come, and there will be a major shift in how we do things. So I remember seeing a statistic recently that says by 2050, the Black people in this country, the wealth gap will be even higher for Black people compared to Hispanics, compared to Blacks, which means that we need to pay attention of how we spend our dollar, and we need to take care of our health. We are dying. There's a silent genocide that's being taken place on Black people, and a lot of us are not addressing it. We are dying financially, we are dying holistically or health wise. So let's take care of our health, of our family, and let's pay attention to our dollar. Don't spend your dollar with everyone. Um, Support Black businesses, not just support. Like make it a habit to spend money with your own people, because it's not racist. It's not that you don't like the other groups, but their money circulates at a different rate in their community than it does in the Black community. So definitely pay attention to that. So I think that's all I have to say.
I
Oh,
mean,
shout out to Winnie.
Ashe.
Right?
So yeah,
Word up. I think we all needed that
Yes,
one
we
right
did.
there. Appreciate that, Jim. Appreciate that advice. And
take
we
care of
should
our
all
health, take care of our financial situations, and
Right.
it's gonna
health
be
is wealth.
over. Yeah, health is wealth, and it's health, it's finances. Those are the things that a lot of us in the Black community are struggling with are simple. There are simple solutions for them. It just takes
Mhm.
unity, really. It takes unity to address those problems and start eating healthier. Like if I wasn't raised in Brooklyn, but I was raised in Haiti. When my parents migrated here, we migrated in
How
Brooklyn.
how old were you, by the way, when you came over here?
I was 13 years old. I lived in Brooklyn until 2017, and then I moved to Long Island for grad school, and then I moved to Florida in 2018. One thing I noticed, I remember in my community before it got gentrified, um, before, because I was always a health conscious person, right? I was always looking for better options in terms of what we eat. Before the communities got gentrified, there was no access to healthy food. There was no access. It was rare to find multiple stores that sell fresh vegetables, like within miles of each other. But the moment the community got gentrified, they just popped out of nowhere. You get what I'm saying? But before it was the liquor store, the fried chicken
McDonald's.
place,
Mm-hmm.
the Chinese food with
Mm-hmm.
barriers and all, as if they were selling to prisoners. But once the community got gentrified, all of a sudden, everyone had money
Whole
to open
Foods.
a food store.
Mhm.
Whole Food was around. So, like,
Mhm.
honestly, Michael Jackson said they don't care about us. I don't want to get too political. They really don't.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is tied to
Mhm.
money because when the
Mhm.
supermarkets that are owned by outsiders, per se, when they come in our community, they get our money. The money doesn't stay in our community, it goes out of the
Nope.
community. So once they start changing, once the faces in the community starts changing, that's when all of a sudden there are healthier options. That's why I'm a firm believer. It's not that I'm money hungry or it's all about money, but I do believe that if more of our own people are in a position
Mhm.
to influence things in terms of financial, in terms of money, a lot of things can take effect in the black community. So that's why I'm a firm believer. Get your health straight. There's always a way to get your health in check and also get your money right because it's important. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
essential.
It's
Mhm.
essential, especially to our survival. So I don't want to get too much.
Yes, indeed. No, that's
We
great.
got
That's
Pastor
good.
Winnie on
We
here
we
preaching
we we have,
today,
we gonna have to get you back on a Sunday show and let you
right?
yeah. We get heavy around here. You know what I'm saying? So
We do. We
we
do.
welcome
It's
it. We
it's
keep it
important.
light. We keep it light on Wednesdays and Thursdays for the most part. We just focus on the business or whatever the case may be. But it get heavy
But
at the
Sundays is
Godcast,
lit.
man. So
Sunday is lit, lit.
things that look to white flight, redlining, ghettoization, number of yep. Absolutely.
Those
See that?
topics
See,
are so
you done started
important.
a whole new show, Winnie. You done started a whole new show.
Uh-oh.
Pastor Winnie up in
Word up. Yeah, as soon as you see a Starbucks, a Whole Foods, you know what time it is in your
here. Right.
You
neighborhood.
know what time is it?
You know
Like
what I'm
you start
saying?
seeing like I was in Crown Heights. You start seeing more police presence around and more lights, more like safetyness. It's
Mm-hmm.
crazy how it happens. A lot of people don't. I don't think a lot of us are aware. Like we talk about it, but we're not fully aware. It's all pre-calculated, and it's time for us to wake up.
We have
It's
war.
it's all pre-calculated. It's crazy. It's crazy. So
Man.
yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up, man. Thank you again, Winnie. This has been another great episode of the Black Business Showcase right here on Sincere Love the Godcast. Let everybody know where they can follow you at.
Okay, so you can follow me at Healthfully Mine and at the Green Chick. That's pretty much all that where I am. Healthfully Mine in the Green Chick and my website, which is up there. Healthfully Mine is where I showcase all my products, my personal care products for men and women, and the Green Chick is where I share my green juice recipes. I started the page because I wanted to bring awareness to vitiligo, but I'm not scared or anything. But I didn't want to deal with the negativity anymore. So I stopped posting about vitiligo and now I'm just focusing on sharing recipes here and there and videos that promote health and stuff. So that's where you can find me. If you have any questions, just DM
Yes,
me.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Get her in the
indeed.
DM.
It goes down in my ear.
It goes down in the DM.
And let everybody know where they can follow you at, Nicey.
You can
Healthfully
follow me.
Mind.
No,
Oh,
Nicey.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You can
Go ahead.
follow me on Instagram at Nicety Girl with the number one and just Nicety Girl, GURL, on all other platforms.
Yes, indeed. And make sure you guys are tapped in with me. I'm at Sincere Love the God on all social media platforms. You can also find me on your favorite music streaming sites as well. Just type in Sincere Love the God. Y'all can check out some of the hip hop music that I do from time to time. And we'll be back here on Sunday. You guys make sure that you are subscribed, click the notification bell. I got to keep reminding everybody, thumbs up, all of that good stuff. And yeah, always remember, family, we are not the master teachers. We are only the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. We'll see everybody on Sunday. Peace and blessings.
Do for self or suffer the consequences. The wisdom of Elijah's inside of the conscience. So I